Hi, everybody. This is Nathan Jennison of the Mortgage Architects. I'm here to talk to you today about bad refinances and how to spot them, and also how to do them differently. So what is a bad refinance? Well, first off, it's where a loan officer is essentially doing a loan and offering a much lower interest rate, and also that rate costing the borrower a whole lot of money and the borrower not realizing it. And so these are how a lot of refinances are being done currently. Now, in this situation, we're looking at a loan estimate. I'm going to see if I can make this as big as possible for you. So we're looking at a loan estimate for a loan at $400,000. This customer has an interest rate currently at 7%. And they're going to drop that interest rate all the way down to a 5.625, which is absolutely fantastic. That's great. It's exactly what you want. Except that when we get to the second page of this loan estimate and we look at the top left corner where it says loan costs, Section A, origination charges, we see that this customer is going to pay over $15,000 in what's called points. That means that they're paying the lender money up front to access that lower interest rate. And they're doing that ultimately with the idea of saving money over time and having a lower monthly payment. So that's great, except a lot of times customers don't realize that they're doing it and they don't understand that it's not necessarily in their best interest. Well, why not? So what we're showing here is this example in real time. So we have the current situation. They have a property value of $535,000. Current loan amount's about $400,000, and their monthly interest rate on this is at 7%. Now, if we look at the bad example, we're going to do a $400,000 loan amount. 5.625 is going to be the interest rate that they're going to get. And that's going to save them a whopping $378 a month on that monthly payment. That's huge. But what's not being shown to them is that they're going to pay over almost $16,000 in order to get this loan done. Now, a lot of people don't have $16,000 just sitting around. And so what loan officers will typically do is they'll actually build that into that loan amount. So that $400,000 loan amount becomes $416,000, and the customer doesn't have to bring much money to closing, and they feel really good that they just dropped their monthly payment by $378. That's great, but it's not. Because if you take a look at it, that's going to have a negative impact on them pretty significantly. If we look at savings over 24 months, even 2 years out, they're still $3,300 in the hole in that situation. They've lost a lot of ground. Now, if we look at doing this a little differently, you can also do what's called lender paid origination and a standard refinance. This means the lender is paying the loan originator on that loan, not the borrower. And in this situation, we're keeping the loan amount the same. We drop it to a 6.5, not nearly as good as a 5.625. And ultimately, they're saving $152 a month, but it's costing them about $7,400 to do this loan. There's a better way, and that is where we do what's called borrower paid origination. And in borrower paid origination, what this means is instead of the lender paying us, the borrower is paying us. Why would you want to do it? Well, because it allows us to give you a discount. So refinances are not as hard to do as purchases. And so once we give you a discount, we're able to get a bigger credit from the lender because the lender is no longer having to pay us. And so what that means is we can keep your loan amount at about $400,000. We drop the interest rate to a 6.125. Again, not as good as the 5.625. But what we also managed to do is we get a $250 a month savings. That's significant. And if you look here, the amount of money that you need to close on this loan is a little less than $3,000. We can definitely build that into the loan amount if you want. But a good portion of this money is also refunded via the escrows account of the current lender. So if you're paying property taxes and homeowners insurance as part of your monthly payment, that lender has that whatever amount is in that account, that escrow account will be refunded to you in about 6 to 8 weeks after you close. And so our goal is always that we keep the cost of the loan as low as possible so that you can do this time and again and follow the interest rate down, not necessarily getting the biggest drop on every one that's possible, but giving you a consistent way of following that rate so that you're going to be near the bottom when it eventually turns and goes back up. That's the idea. Now, if we look at this in terms of savings over 24 months, you're going to see that, hey, you're already not only breaking even, but you're about $5,000 ahead in terms of your monthly savings, and well different than what the other examples are. In fact, if we take a look at those other examples, it would take a total of 80 months in order to actually break even by going with that bad refinance example. So 80 months. That's a long, long time. So we definitely don't want to go that route, because the chances are you're going to be able to get a refinance lower than that in that amount of time. If we take a look at where mortgage interest rates have been, you'll notice that, yes, we're elevated. We're elevated basically clear back to where we were in 2009, thereabouts. Ultimately, we do expect that rates will come down over the next year to 2 years. And so we want to make sure that you're in a situation where you can follow that down. We don't expect it's going to get to be where it was in 2020, but we do want to make sure that you can take advantage of rate drop after rate drop without losing ground in terms of paying off your home. This is why you not only do you want to avoid a bad refinance, you want to do a refinance with us. Give me a call. We'll take a look at where you're at. We'll set a target price or target spot for when the interest rates drop, so that we can lock you in at that point, and then we can help you make the most out of each rate drop as it comes. Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you soon. In the meantime, here's that licensing legal information. Take a look.